A Hobbit surprise adventure, the big success story. In 1937, a teacher named J.R.R. Tolkien wrote a book called The Hobbit. It was a story for kids filled with adventures and make-believe. The Hobbit was about Bilbo Baggins, a hobbit who loved his home, going on a quest with dwarves and a wizard. Readers loved Bilbo's adventures. The book was super popular. Everyone wanted more stories about Tolkien's world. The publisher, wanting another hit, asked Tolkien to write a second book. They had no idea this request would lead to something much bigger than just another story. Tolkien's imagination took off, and a new story began, one that would be way bigger than The Hobbit. Wanting more, a new story begins. Because The Hobbit was so popular, Tolkien's publisher asked him for another book. They wanted more Hobbit adventures, more fun, and more money. Tolkien, who always loved stories, started working on a new book. At first he thought it would be another fun adventure, just like The Hobbit. He started writing about Bilbo's adventures after he came home. But as he wrote, the story changed. Tolkien's world became bigger and more complicated. The problems became more serious. This wasn't just a fun story for kids anymore. It was becoming something much bigger. From fun to serious, the story gets serious. As Tolkien wrote, his story grew up. The Hobbit was light and happy, but this new story became more serious. It explored ideas of good versus evil, doing what's right and making sacrifices. The story went beyond hobbits. It introduced elves, dwarves, humans, and other creatures, all with important jobs in a big war. This wasn't just a second book, it was a whole new, huge story. The ring that Bilbo found in The Hobbit, which was just a magic toy at first, became a powerful and dangerous item. This ring, and its evil owner Sauron, became the main problem of the new story. A new world. The Lord of the Rings is here. Tolkien's new Hobbit book became The Lord of the Rings, a story in 3 parts. It was a much bigger and more complicated story than The Hobbit. The Lord of the Rings took readers on a trip through Middle-earth, a world of magic, myths, and adventure. The story was about friendship, bravery, and hope when things are dark. It became a classic book, loved by people of all ages. The Lord of the Rings was a huge success. It made Tolkien famous as the creator of modern fantasy stories. From a simple children's book, a whole new world was born. The Lord of the Rings wasn't just another book, it was a total change, showing how powerful imagination can be.